So recently we hit 2,000 subscribers on YouTube, which I'm incredibly grateful for, and I wanted to thank you personally. As a reward for your loyalty and support of P2P Empire, I decided to record a video about the platforms that we are currently invested in. Some of you have been wondering whether there is a way to see how much we have invested in which platforms, so that's something we are going to be talking about today. As this list is quite extensive, I will try to just briefly mention the investment amount and give you a short impression of every platform. Before we start, I want to point out that this is not an investment advice. Every investor has different preferences, and it is completely fine if you decide to choose your own platforms based on your own needs. P2 planning is not like depositing your money on a savings account, and there are always risks that you should consider. So if you have been following this channel for a while, you are aware of my preferred strategy, which is to diversify across different loan types rather than spreading your money across various platforms just for the sake of diversification. While I do have access to many P2P portfolios, today I'll be sharing with you just the ones that we use when we create our reviews on P2P Empire. So my largest portfolio is on PeerBerry with 17,075 euro. I have been investing on PeerBerry for a couple of years now. The platform has been exceptionally reliable and it performed very well when many other even bigger platforms struggled last year when the pandemic started. PeerBerry is very investor friendly, which means that they do their best to protect investors' interest. The level of customer support on PeerBerry is also exceptional. In my experience, there is no other platforms that can really match PeerBerry in many areas. Currently, PeerBerry is also in the process to become regulated, which means that they will be disclosing even more data in the future. Personally, I've been investing on PeerBerry for the last 3 years, and I am very happy with the performance of my portfolio so far. The secondary portfolio we are running is on EstateGuru. EstateGuru offers real estate-backed loans, which means that this adds additional safety to your portfolio as the loans are secured by tangible collateral. The liquidity on EstateGuru as well as the return is not as good as on PeerBerry. However, both platforms complement each other very well as EstateGuru brings this additional security to your portfolio. We have also recorded several interviews with the management of EstateGuru, and I visited their headquarters in Tallinn as well as some of the finance projects in 2018. The portfolio on this platform accounts currently for 9,976 euro. As you can tell, I'm following the 10K investment strategy which I have introduced to you at the beginning of this year. There hasn't been really a change to it. PeerBerry and EstateGuru are my preferred platforms as they match a lot of the criteria that I'm looking out for when investing in P2P loans. So these two are my main portfolios, but we do test a lot of other platforms, so we are able to create comprehensive reviews and share some of our experience with you so you can make a more educated investment decision. If you like this approach, hit the like button and subscribe to not miss any videos in the future. So first we have Reinvest24. The portfolio accounts currently for 1,581 euro. We have been testing it for about a year now, and the platform was primarily focused on offering rental deals. Recently, Reinvest24, however, also offers more and more real estate-backed loans from Moldova. If you want to learn more about that, you can watch our recent talk with the CEO, Daniel Oro. Next, we have 1,254 euro on EvoEstate. EvoEstate is a crowdfunding platform aggregator, which means that you can invest in projects from multiple smaller platforms. This is useful if you do not want to log into different platforms all the time, which will speed up your monitoring procedures. EvoEstate is suitable if you find deals that fit your investment strategy. Personally, I am lately mostly interested in investing in projects from heavy finance, which there are not so many now. There has been also a change in management in the last few months. The former CEO Gustos launched his own project in Rento, and the second co-founder Adrius took over the CEO position. So next we have currently 980 euro on Robocash, which is another platform where you can invest in short-term loans. I've tested the platform a couple of years ago, but withdraw my investments due to cash drag. Now they have stepped up their game quite a bit, and we had the chance to talk to people from the management, which is why we decided to resume investing again to have some skin in the game here as well. On TWINO, we have 858 euro, mostly invested in Russian loans without the currency exposure. The interest is around 10%. If you, however, decide to invest in Robos, you can get up to 14% interest per year. We have been testing TWINO for about a year now, and recently we had also a talk with the CEO of the TWINO group where we learned more about loan originations in Russia. VIAINVEST is another platform for short-term loans. You can invest in unsecured loans from Latvia or Sweden, which is something a lot of the platforms do not offer. Currently, our investment amount is 562 euro. We have invited also the management of VIAINVEST to our P2P talks so you can learn more about their lending practices. However, they have declined, so we will not be interviewing them anytime soon. Debitum Network is another platform where we have 553 euro skin in the game. Here you can invest into loans backed by a buyback guarantee, collateral, and often even in many cases in insurance. Debitum has a slightly different story as many of the other platforms. If you want to learn more about it, I highly suggest you watch our P2P talk with the founder Martin Sliberts. We have been testing Debitum for about a year and the performance of the P2P portfolio was as expected. Next we have IUVO, which is a Bulgarian marketplace for loans. The platform is listing loans from various lending companies. The biggest chunk of loans is however originated from Easy Credit, which is a lender that offers unsecured consumer loans in Bulgaria. There are also a few small lenders like Ibancar, for example, which is quite an interesting option to invest into well-performing car loans from Spain. Our skin in the game on EvoEstate is currently 538 euro. Bondora is a P2P platform mainly originating unsecured loans in Estonia. The Go and Grow product which they offer is the most liquid product on the market, meaning that you can withdraw your money within seconds, which none of the other platforms offer. Our skin in the game is currently 535 euro, and if you think about investing on Bondora, I recommend having a look at their loan book first so you're aware of how their loans are performing. Next platform where we have invested 502 euro is NeoFinance. This is currently the most regulated player in the industry. The real return for our portfolio is currently around 5 to 6%. If you have an idea how to get more out of it, feel free to comment below. I'm happy to hear your strategy on this one. Since NeoFinance is very regulated, they must follow quite a few laws, which unfortunately makes the platform also the least user-friendly amongst all P2P sites. Next platform is Bondster. We have exited our testing portfolio on Bondster a few months ago actually, as we have informed you in our newsletter. The reason for this was the unexplained change in management and rather slow or no development of the platform in recent months. We have, however, recently talked with the new CEO Pavel Klema, who has a solid background from the lending sector, which convinced me to invest 500 euro into secured business loans from Acema, which is a Czech lending company. This is, by the way, also the only portfolio where we invest in local currencies, so we also bear the currency risk. The return here is also smaller at around 7% per year. If you want to get more, you can also invest in pawnbrokers from Asia if that is something you want to do. Next up is Heavy Finance. If you have been following our channel, you are aware of our latest discussion with Mintos, the CEO of Heavy Finance. First, we only invested in their loans on EvoEstate as I didn't feel like logging into another platform. However, as they have not listed any loans on EvoEstate lately, we decided to give it a go and invest directly on Heavy Finance with 500 euro. The loans are backed by heavy machinery, and in TWINO they offer even a protection fund from the government, which should cover up to 80% if the loans default. The team is very professional and the platform makes a really solid impression, which is why I wanted to have some exposure here as well. We have also 230 euro stuck at Crowdestor and 189 euro on Mintos and a small amount on Bulkestate. Crowdestor is suitable for more opportunistic investors. Mintos is suitable for those who are willing to dig deep into their loan originators and pick the best ones. Monitoring your portfolio is a must on both platforms, however, and it is up to you to decide whether to invest on them. So that has been a brief overview of our portfolio, which we use as a reference when we create our P2P lending reviews. I do not recommend investing on so many platforms for multiple reasons. It will be at least a part-time job to research every company and follow up on all the news surrounding your investments, which will not be worth your time unless you do not have a job and your stake in P2P lending is at least 500,000 euro. The main reason for me to test those platforms is to learn more about various business models, to better understand the industry and create more accurate reviews. Unless you want to do the same, there is not really a reason to it. I suggest you keep it simple and invest into platforms which you understand and where you are happy with the performance. Now, you might be wondering whether the platforms in which we did not invest are bad. And the answer is no, not necessarily. Currently, we have an investment on 17 platforms, which is obviously an overkill. And adding more platforms to the list means just more time in monitoring. You can certainly invest also on other platforms if you feel confident in doing proper research. If you are new to P2P lending, I highly recommend getting our due diligence checklist. It is a workbook that will significantly reduce the risk that you will end up investing in a fraudulent platform. The information in the workbook is backed by my 4-year experience in P2P lending, more than 20 interviews with CEOs and founders of P2P platforms, more than 40 in-depth reviews on P2P Emperor, and close to 36,000 euro investments on various platforms. So in short, there is a lot of value in it, and if you want to get it, you will find the link in the description below. below the video. Some of you might also be wondering how I managed to invest this amount. Well, after I finished my studies in 2016, I started working and put money aside every month and invest in everything what I did not need for living. So over the period of 4 to 5 years, it is not really such a huge amount, and I bet that with persistence, you can do the same. So in total, this portfolio accounts for 35,974 euro. It is really nothing special and there is no complex strategy behind it. I am a firm believer that investments should be simple and not too complicated. If you decide to give P2P lending a go, start with one platform, learn how it works and decide for yourself why you should invest on other platforms before spreading your investments across multiple sites, which will just increase the time you spend on researching the companies and monitoring your portfolio. So that's been our 2000 subscribers celebration video. I hope you like it. If so, leave a like and subscribe so we can get to 3,000 subscribers and educate even more investors about how to invest in P2P loans. If you want to share your experience with various platforms, leave your thoughts in the comments below. And that's been it for me today. Thanks for watching and I will catch you in the next video.